Welcome to AJ Plus Real Talk. It's been 1 year since Mike Brown was killed by a cop in Ferguson, Missouri. The last 12 months have been all about Black Lives Matter and racism in America. We discuss all that's happened since last year. And on Thursday night, Jon Stewart took his last bow as host of The Daily Show. We'll look back on what he's meant to America. Let's get started. I'm Damu, and joining me now is our senior producer, Brooke. Brooke, what's up?
Yo, what's up? She
was on the ground covering Ferguson last year. Brooke, has America changed since last year's shooting?
I think a little bit.
You say a little bit, what do you mean a little bit?
I mean that I think we still got a long way to go to get everybody on the same page, but I think a lot of Americans now are realizing that black people weren't lying when they said police were shooting them in record numbers.
What was it about Mike Brown that brought this to the forefront? There still wasn't any video of Mike Brown being shot, but why did Mike Brown spark this conversation?
I think there were several factors. One, his body laid in the street for 4 hours. I think where it happened, it may have not been the best city for it to happen. In Ferguson, I think people were already really fed up, sick and tired of being sick and tired, I guess you could say. So I think it was like a turning point in that city. And there's just all the images that came out of that, all the social media really galvanized people. And then people came out to protest his death, to protest what had happened, or to find out what actually had happened, because people didn't know. And the police were being so mum on it. And the way that the police responded to the people out on the street who were demanding answers.
I couldn't agree with you more. When I saw the police, the militarized police,
exactly.
The tanks, the body armor, the snipers, I was like, this is all over a shooting. I get coming out to stop unrest or whatnot, but still, the imagery.
It was a bit extreme.
Yeah.
And it was how the police reacted did not necessitate what people were doing.
Right.
You know.
And I think when you started to hear some of the audio of some of the cops' reaction to the protesters, like I'm gonna kill you, you effing animal, or whatever it might be.
That's crazy.
It's completely crazy.
Yeah.
You know, how do you think Black Lives Matter changed the conversation about the way people look at police brutality in America?
I think it changed the conversation by giving the actual name to the conversation, saying Black lives do matter. So I think that's how they were able to shift where the conversation was going, and to focus on the police brutality that was happening more towards African Americans.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. As always, Brooke, it's a pleasure to have you. I'll see you next week. All right. Next, one of our producers, Kate, joins me. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart may have ended this week, but she and many others are definitely going to miss him. I know I will. What's up, Kate?
Hey.
You worked on the piece about Jon Stewart's impact on the media, politics, and the U.S. How could a TV host, a comic, become so influential and powerful?
Well, obviously he was funny.
Okay.
I mean, he's really funny, right? I mean, in a time of a war, an awful terrorist attack, a president that was not living up to our standards, I feel like a lot of people really connected with what Jon was joking about. But also, I think Jon would never say he was a journalist, right? But he had the tools and the ability to say things that traditional journalists couldn't say. So when it came to, CNN anchors or reporters have to have this veneer of balance.
Right.
And I think Jon made it his point to not have that. He never said he was fair and balanced, but he did so much more to the truth.
He was brutally honest.
He was super honest,
Yeah.
and I think we learned a lot because of that.
I really loved how he was able to listen to a politician or somebody talk and say, you know what, you said X, Y, and Z, but in 19 some odd you said something completely different.
He used the hypocritical politician, right? What they said 5 years ago, what they said today, put them side by side. And I remember watching that as a journalist in college in the mid 2000s and going, why doesn't every anchor do that? And then Jon could add sketches and hyperbole and jokes and go to a way that other journalists, because they're trying to be balanced, they're trying to not lose contact to their source, they couldn't do.
Right.
And it wasn't just Jon doing it. This might be making me come across a little nerdy, but I was a really big fan of The View in college, all the women talking.
Sure.
Because again, they're not saying they're journalists. It was Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Rosie.
Yeah.
But they were able to question the politicians like McCain and Obama and Clinton in a way that other journalists just don't do, because they don't want to be like, oh, I don't want people to think we're biased.
What do you think some of his shortcomings were?
I think towards the end, Jon Stewart was harping on the media a lot on Fox, and we're like, we get it, Fox News is this way, we get it, Jon.
He's going on top right now, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and I think so it's time for him to go, I get it. John Oliver then, when he came on with Last Week Tonight on HBO, his show now is a lot more explaining the issues in a way that I think Jon Stewart used to do. And so now John Oliver is sort of taking over, and I'm really into that show. He talks for 17 minutes on the most boring topic, but I'm interested.
Thanks so much for joining.
Absolutely.
No doubt. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Keep it locked to AJ Plus for more news, videos, and stories. We're in all your social media feeds, so find us there. Peace.